nice golden name, by the way. Good to see you. Let's fire things up. Knock that out of the way. Turn that off. Turn this on. Let's get the keyboard. Let's get the page turner. Let's get the song list. And then the first thing we're going to play is not the first thing on the list. That's a good warm-up. Hey, thank you for gifting a sub to Rob. Much appreciated, Emmett. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. afternoon to you.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Thanks for that. Emmett, thanks for that request. Alright. We love playing the rap. Thank you for the claps, too. Huma, you want to pick a color today? Blue was chosen last stream. And we'll play Starlight. It's yellow. Actually, we'll consume this right after playing Starlight because I have to sing for Starlight. So, singing's out of the question for like 2 or 3 requests or so before it dissolves. Here we go. much got it. Oh my goodness. That was a journey, actually. To be able to execute that one was a journey. But that's a completely different band. But we are here now. We are here now. And at last, we declare this an upgrade for Muse. Starlight. Oh, familiar to performance ready. Thank you very much for that request. Thank you for the claps, too. Alright, let's pull this little yellow beast out of the wrapping and see how much paper we're eating today. Meantime, song list is wide open, so let me just put this up on a pin message. Pin, let's do how to play, and then also, yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, cool. Yeah, so song list wide open, and let's see. You know, maybe I should refrigerate this thing so it's a little bit more cooperative. I think that's what we're going to do with the bag from now on. We're going to refrigerate it. I might have to in this case, actually. Okay, yellow for next time. I'll be right back. There we go. Okay. So. All right. Heck yes. Nope. Nope. Actually, I like the order we were at. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. That's better. So. somewhere in there. Oh man. Okay, yeah. So we've got the essence of it kind of put back together. City of Stars. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the bits. City of stars, how you shine just for me. City of stars, there's so much that I can't see. Who knows? Is this the start of something wonderful and new? I cannot make true. Thank you for that request, Huma. Something chill, something relaxing. Good contrast to the last one. Africa by Toto. Yes. Thank you for the claps, and again, Huma, thank you for the bits. Okay, so like probably one of my best runs of Africa yet. I think that went pretty good, all things considered. Thank you so much for that request, Emmett. That was fun. And definitely, like, more in line with what it should sound like, because I think for a while I was definitely playing the wrong rhythm for the primary theme, because I don't know what it sounds like. But, you know, we get better. Thank you for the claps. Thank you! I imagine that you might have been playing along, in which case I hope you had fun, too. I think that went pretty well. And I think that's probably one of my best runs for the solo, too. Wait. That's it. Much closer to what we're looking for. Let me write a couple of notes in and we should be fine. So that's a G sharp. So fun fact, a lot of times I can process notes where they are on the keys just a millisecond faster than I can name them. So there's G. And A. Here we go. Okay. that's been repaired. Pretty much. Sumeru beyond Klesha. And now we can call it an upgrade. It's a little too close to an upgrade for my comfort, so I just wanted to get that knocked out. Genshin Impact. Sumeru. Oh, wait. Let me put it that way. Sumeru. Okay. Beyond Klesha. Familiar to performance ready. Alright, cool. Battlestar Galactica. Just trying to determine what status this is in. I think this needs a little restoration. It's been a little while, so. Thanks for the request, Huma. I think that got a much better run out of that. I don't have the energy for that one right now, so let's do the easy winners. Which is not exactly easy. There's a terrible irony in this name. But you know what? It's not in a bad state. Let's do this. I just have to consciously comprehend there are 4 flats. Let's repeat that section. Uncalibrated. There we go. Why I said uncalibrated when I tried to say itchy. is that familiar yet. It's very close. I gotta play it one more time this week, I think. And then that will click right over pretty well. So, it's not out of reach. Let's go. I think I need to cool down. That was, it's one of those pieces of music that doesn't sound terribly, active, but you know what? It's busy. It sure is. Let's see. Did this go live here? Yeah, it did. It's fine. It's just that people are probably on vacation. Now what do I want to play? Shall I actually look at the main mission every once in a while? We're gonna adjust a couple of these things. So, plucking that out of the main mission. We're gonna also take the Weeping Willow. No, we're gonna take the Entertainer out of the main mission. Because I've already kind of got that done. Mission accomplished on that side a little bit. Peach and Ryan Rag, one of my favorites, but not a main mission anymore. So let's pluck that out. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's do a couple of things here. Drops of Jupiter. And maybe a Chopin waltz. We'll see. But let's start with this. Because we're kind of on a pop kick right now. She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her hair. She acts like summer and looks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Hey, shorty. Since the return from her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. Hey. to like listen to myself play that, which is sort of like I can listen to myself play the piano, but listening to myself sing is a whole nother ordeal. It's a terrifying ordeal, but I have to do it. I don't know if it's upgraded until I do. But I think it was okay. It felt good from inside my body, because, but the resonance is different out there, so I don't know if like I hit the notes. I tried. An attempt was made. Ciao, Beving. Thank you for that request, Shorty. I think that was the coolest version of that I've played yet. Much appreciated. Your song. things considered, I think that turned out pretty nice. Thank you for that request for your song by Elton John. I do love playing your song. I'll be right back. Shortest break. Just need to refresh my hands. Let me do a quick thing here. Oh, where's this button? Calculating. Yeah. Okay. Love story. I should probably refresh the Capagen emotes with new emotes. Oh, wait, that's a different love story. Golden Brown. Hold on. Didn't I save this somewhere? Darn it. How did I lose this so fast? I totally thought I saved this. This is terrible of me. Hold on. We share a lot of links, don't we? I totally thought I saved it. I'm kind of shocked that I didn't. Is it a file? Did you send me? You did send me the file. Found it! Goodness. Okay. I knew I had it somewhere. Now, loading it into the app properly, because apparently it didn't. Love story X Golden Brown. Pull that around there. I forget what is it from, something in particular? Oh, yeah. Delete that page and then auto crop. I've got it. Thank you, though. Valentino Coleman. Live learning. it up here, or do I like it down here? Let's do a potential like B flat minor at the end here. I'm glad you think so. I remember you saying that the original arrangement was a little rough, so I was working on seeing what I could do with softening it a little bit. I think I will ignore the octave sign here. And I think we're just going to go with playing it at place. Actually, let me do it a different way. I'm going to indicate to myself that I'm ignoring this on purpose and actually just exit out there. Okay, so. I think that's the vibe we're going for. Pretty good for a live learn, if I do say so myself. The story X Golden Brown. Yep, and that was the first attempt. Not bad. Blood Diamond, hello. Welcome to the live action piano simulator. I see your redemption for hydrate with extra reverb. Let's take care of that now. For 10 times the channel points of a regular hydrate. It is a source of great entertainment. Don't look at me like that. Judging you. Oh my god, she's judging me. Someone in my house is judging me. Valentino Coleman. This one is a love story. X Golden Brown. This one is live learn. Too familiar. I hesitate to say performance ready. Tiny fluency refinement, and then we should be good. Thank you for that request. And for bringing this piece of music to me. Much appreciated. I do always welcome friends to bring music to me, because I don't know what music is. I just play what's here. But But I'm pretty bad at discovering new music, especially because, well, if I try to discover new music, what tends to happen is it goes in one ear and out of the other. No idea what I had just heard. Let's compass. Letting myself chill out a little bit more here. Oh, wait. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. One day we'll find it, the rainbow connection. Lovers, the dreamers, and who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. Lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the season that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. Lovers, the dreamers, and me. Golden Brown by the Stranglers mixed with Indila's Love Story. Okay, well, I had no idea. So what was funny was I typed in Love Story into my app, and it came up with Indila's Love Story, because I also have that on the song list. So I appreciate you bringing that up, because now I know. Now I know. Thank you for the claps. I'll be right back. Very short, very teeny tiny break. A shorty marathon. Thank you for loading up a song list. Wait, do I know where? Okay, that's where I put that. Okay. Lol. Got a little bit disoriented here. Hold on. I can do this. I swear I know this song, so let's recalibrate. Here comes the sun. Darling, also builds a good evening to you. Huge congratulations on passing one of the exams. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the claps. Big congratulations on passing the exams. Passed the year. Very good. So one more exam to go. Great to hear it. Thank you, Shorty, for the request. We're going to play the No Cien while you figure out the, and then you can go on vacation. Hooray! I'm going to play No Cien while you pull up your requests. Oh, Huma, sorry to hear you're sick today. I hope you are getting the chance to relax a little bit. Let's bump up a couple of these requests. Let's shuffle them in. Thank you for the bits, Huma, and an appropriate cheers for also builds for passing those exams. Again, big congrats. Merenala. Okay. Getting up. getting a better sense of how to navigate this one. No relaxing with 4-year-olds around. Well, I was thinking about the fact that you have 4-year-olds, and I was like, I don't know how much relaxing you're getting done. Thanks for requesting that. It continues to refine. The accuracy continues to rise, so much appreciated. Bass, C sharp. Didn't I play that? Okay, just making sure. Okay, the Beach Boys. So this is going to be the first piece of music on the song list by the Beach Boys, and I pulled this instrumental, and then I never did anything with it. So thank you for pulling this live learn, Shorty. Let's get at it. Let's dig in. Oh my god. Okay, so. So we're getting a gist of it. Like, it starts out very tricky because the melody's down here. And it starts off brutally. A triplet against a triplet quarters. Okay, so C6 Malfica. Good God. Good Pyro Archon. So I watched an interesting movie about the Beach Boys, mostly focused on Brian Wilson. is a psychotic breakdown. Comprehended how complex this music actually was while listening. Okay, yep, those are in the right place. Wait, are we back to swing? We're back to swing. Okay. Yeah, it alternates very abruptly between something that's sort of E major to D major. Not sharp, that sharp. Okay. Okay. So that's some Beach Boys. Alright. Way more complicated than I anticipated, which is pretty fun. That keeps it pretty fun because it's not too basic. I think I can make this work. I just need to remember, like, this needs to be super light. Take it easy, but a little bit swift. Like, it moves at a brisk pace. I'll say that's super light and brisk, and then I'll kind of throw in a couple of notes here. And let's see how that ended, because was it kind of odd? I dare say it's pretty odd. Yeah, I think that's an okay way to end. All right, awesome. Live learn accomplished. Thank you very much for that. The Beach Boys. This is God only knows. Live learn 2. In progress, I dare say. It's we're gonna work out some details in upcoming days, but it's in a pretty good place. Bergmask. Oh wait. So you get Bergmask number 1. Lion Might, you're one of 2 people on my friends list in Genshin who have accomplished the Stygian Onslaught level 5. I could not even finish level 4 solo, and I barely finished level 4 in co-op. That was after about 50 attempts in co-op. That was exhausting. I'm not built for dealing with Stygian Onslaught. Holy moly. It made Spiral Abyss and Imaginarium Theater easy in comparison. That was nuts. That was nuts. Thank you very much for that request also, Bill. I'm very excited actually to play this because it's definitely one of those pieces of music where like I've heard it, other people play it, but I could never remember what the title actually was, so I never got around to learning it because I didn't know what it was. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the claps. I'm gonna stretch a little bit. Oh boy, all my bones. That's a free stretch. You've all saved 5 channel points in total. So let's see if I remember how to even play this prelude. The Partita number 1 by Johann Sebastian Bach. A little more classical before we jump into something else. Oh, it's that one. Okay. That's the essence of it. We're in the range, but I think we'll do another execution of it to just get it going. Because we're very close to getting that restored, actually. There we go. Restored in a pretty alright condition, all things considered. Thank you for that request, Shorty. Wanted to bring that back. Thank you for the claps, Lion Mike. Here's Leeway's main theme, which, yeah. my Genshin will always impact, if that's your question. This particular piece of media has consumed far too much of my musical. It's helped me a lot musically, and it's been really interesting. Thank you for the shout out. Archon Themes reaction video. Ooh, I gotta check that out. Shout out to Lion Knight, who, I think we fed each other Genshin music for a while, even while you weren't playing, and then now you're back to playing, and I continue to play a ton of Genshin music. First time really hearing the official Rex Incognito. Because you've heard me play it, so you've heard a piano version of it, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good piano version. Farina's theme on piano is nearly impossible, which is why it's not on the list. I do not have the witherall to play Farina's theme on the piano, as much as I'd like to. As much as I would like to. It's really hard. But yeah, Rex Incognito is really fun. Hold on. Restoration. Let's do the first half. that particular that particular Star Trek theme needs some restoration work.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hi there, Emmett. That one's trickier than I remember. Maybe I'm pickier, actually. Maybe I've gotten a little bit more picky. So, that's always possible. That one's probably gonna need a re-upgrade. Let's play Rex Incognito first, and then Gorillas. Let's do a little cleanup, just a tiny bit of cleanup. We're on 3 flats here. There we go. That's actually the sound we're looking for. It's pretty good. It's in pretty good shape, so. Hello, Lucy. Nice to see you. Thank you for the claps, Lion Mite. Thank you very much. Shortest break. 30 seconds. Be right back. That Genshined my impact. Okay. Let's see what we're playing. Feel good. I love working on this one. This is not easy, but I love it. Let me just scoot in on this a little bit more. Boom. Okay. Nice. Practice mode. Sorry, I had encountered a piece of information that is making my brain buffer like a lot right now. But we're good. 6 flats. All right. C flat. can be done. Just needs a lot of calculations. It's a little intense because I'm still not used to it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's but sometimes I'm like start rough and actually tone it out. Like relax the sound a little bit as I get used to it, but tricky. Welcome back, also builds. Let's do a little more hydration. Thank you for the claps. I've really got to take that noodling on bass guitar off the list. I'm so sorry. I do not have the willpower to do the work of plugging the bass guitar in right now. Still. Alas, I lazy. For 10 times the channel points of a regular hydrate. Clear colored orange juice. A reused bottle. I hungry. Dang. I think that's hunger. I have no idea. Okay, we're gonna breathe. Thanks for 100 Kappa bits. That was silent testimony. Thank you for the claps. Sometimes you just need something a little bit quieter and a little bit chiller. Wait. It's in refinement mode. Okay. I had to assess the status for a sec. spectacle doit continuer. Very fond of that track. Not easy, but very fond of it. Continues to be in progress. Well, familiar, but nonetheless, still needs work. Still needs work. Ballad of Many Waters. I don't know if you had ever tried or looked at Ballad of Many Waters, Lion Might, but I have to tell you, this is one of the most violently modulating pieces of music I had ever seen in my life. It's actually pretty funny because it sounds extremely tonal, but it goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 key changes in 3 pages. This is the most fascinatingly, modulating piece of music I have ever seen. Gaming YouTube channel, all Genshin content. Yeah, it's a gorgeous track though, isn't it? It's such a gorgeous track. It's so good. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Does this have... We'll keep it on the medium light. Practice mode indeed. Okay. And the first thing I wrote here says needs improv. Kind of surprised I didn't circle every key change. That's the difficult version? Oh my god. Okay. No, we'll just do this version, but we'll kind of mark out every key change. Give me a sec. What kind of piece of music modulates 12 times in 3 pages? Actually, that's not hunger. That's a different pain entirely. Oh my gosh. I'm having a stomach pain that is fairly unusual in its vibe. It may force me to end stream early. Depending on how this progresses, this is horrid. Ooh. Recognize the music by the sound of it. Oh, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, well, it went from 2 to, I don't know, this feels like a 5, 6. Like it just kind of shot up in pain. This is horrid. 1 flat, 1 flat. it's a live stream, yeah, that's fine. That's how you play this game. Or that's a fantastic way to play this game. Oh. Thank you for the claps. Struggling with the, okay, I see why I called that the difficult version. Goodness gracious, never mind. I'm not going to that version. I'm gonna just struggle in this version. Okay. Thank you very much for that request, Lion Mite. Ballad of Many Waters. At least 13 waters in that particular... what do we call it? A tour de force is what that is. Thank you, Emmett. Thank you, Emmett. It's better. It's definitely better, but goodness gracious, that is so many key changes. It can be done. Okay. Ooh, pain. God, this is weird. Okay. Unvidemia. Thanks for the claps. Thank you so much. I think that's in pretty good shape. I take care of Izzy Button. Well, I thank you for that too. All right. Vidamier, that's an upgrade from familiar to performance ready. Thank you for the requesting that. Ooh. Okay. Performance ready. Woo! Okay, that was fast. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the request. Thank you for bringing me a lot of music from Claire Obscure. These tracks have been... Oopsies. Pluck that off the list a little early. Okay. Fiction. Now, this has definitely been a rhythm tour for us here. But every time we do one of these types of pieces, we get a little bit stronger with the jumps too. we're dangerously close. It's pretty funny how close we are. Let's take it down just the tiniest bit. Then we might just have it. We're pretty close. That's pretty nice. That was fiction. Rotakoi. Okay. Pain subsided. That's good. It's toned down to a 3. Sometimes I just gotta wait it out. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the request. Another obscure Star Trek theme. We love to see it. Star Trek 5. The Final Frontier. This amuses me to no end, but there are lyrics. The drums of distant hearts are carried on the air. I can hear my name from there somewhere. Would you believe there are lyrics to this thing? This is probably, now that I'm like kind of putting it into the context of the other Star Trek themes, this is probably why Star Trek Enterprise ended up being the way that it was. So the problem didn't really start with Star Trek Enterprise. Thanks for the request, Emmett. Hey, good evening to you, Frolic Chris. Hope you're well. Nice to see you. Thank you for the little dancing music notes. Love to see it. You're real nice. Oh yeah, this needs a refresh. Okay. See if we can't crack it out of the way, yeah? was one of the most difficult parts. Okay. There we go. That was the Yuri on Ice theme. Not bad. Not bad. Something are starting to solidify in a different way. Thank you very much for that request, Darth. Just to kind of like maintain my energy and sanity. This weekend has been astonishingly busy. I may just call it here. Thank you all for playing the live action pianist simulator, though. It was very nice to have you here. I thank you all for hanging out. I thank you all for requesting and lurking and throwing emotes, throwing bits, throwing gift subs. All of that is super appreciated. Thank you very much. We're gonna grab a raid call of your choosing. I am fizzing out a little bit, and tomorrow is yet another Monday, so I will check out right here. But I'm gonna check out who's live now. I don't know who's live. Shall we just browse the music category? Hello, Crochet. Thank you all for the claps. If anyone has raid suggestions, I am open to them. Let's see how far into the stream this person is. And then how to spell that name. Grab a raid call of your choosing. I can't tell because it glitched out a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Live long and prosper. I wish you all a good night. Be excellent to each other, and I will see you soon. Let's rate it.